Hello, artists. Welcome back to art class. Last week, you listened to a read aloud called Radiant Child about the artist Jean-Michel Basquiat. Can we say his name? Jean-Michel Basquiat. He's a very famous artist, and he began his career making street art. Have you heard about street art? Can you make a guess what it might be? Street art is art that's made in public places. It might be on a wall or a sidewalk or in a building. Sometimes people are confused between street art and graffiti. Graffiti is art that's made without permission. So some street art is graffiti if the artist does not have permission to put their painting on a side of a train or on a wall. And some street art is not graffiti because the artist has permission to make their art in that space.
Today, we see that graffiti and street art can make a place more beautiful, welcoming, exciting, creative. It can change how people feel about a place that maybe was not beautiful or interesting before. It can be really exciting. There are street art festivals around the world.
Jean-Michel and a friend of his, when they were just teenagers, started making street art and graffiti around their neighborhood in New York City. It was a really exciting time in art when lots of people were making street art and graffiti and new styles were coming out. The invention of spray paint had just happened. And so people were being really, really creative and kind of creating this whole new style of art that is still so popular today. This was just before hip hop music started and people were making music in the streets and coming up with this whole new exciting style of music. And so these two things of a new kind of art and a new kind of music grew up sort of together. And maybe there were some ideas that crisscrossed back and forth. In music class, you are composing a hip hop song as a class. So cool. I can't wait to hear what you're coming up with. So in art class, I'd like you to use your imagination today. I'd like you to imagine that a record producer has heard your song, even if it's not finished yet, that's okay. And they want to turn your song into a whole album, but they'd also like an album cover. This is one of Jean-Michel Basquiat's paintings that was featured on a new album in 2020, just last year. Album covers are one of the ways that musicians might help tell the story of their album or might just get people excited about their music. Album art is one of the ways that people get excited about new music.
How will your album design get people excited about your music?
Let's check in.
Again, you can choose to make an album cover for your hip-hop class song, or you could think of another song you've written or would like to write, or you could think of a favorite song you have. I imagined a hip-hop class song, and the title of my album is called Resilience.
That looks very realistic, but I believe that this sculpture is
Resilience
actually quite
means
small,
growing
even though
through
on the album it looks
challenges.
really big.
I started by drawing two guidelines for my lettering and writing the letters of the word resilience,
album I really like because
and then
it speaks
turning those
of
letters
some
into
important
street
things
style
that
letters.
I
I included in the
good messages for
slideshow some
And
examples of
it's called
street style
Rise Up,
letters.
and
The
it's
letters
by
are always
period.
bold,
This is done in collage
and
format.
super
and it
fun.
includes lots of
You can just
activists
play with making
for
up your
social
own
justice.
street style too. I was thinking of those block letters with
This is a
some
new album that
kind
really
of
got my
funky,
attention
stylish
because
bumps all
It's got
around.
lots of artists on it.
I
that
drew first with
I really
pencil
like,
and then
artists
traced with
and
Sharpie.
musicians.
I'd encourage you to
But
do that too.
In terms of the
Or
art of the
black marker.
album cover,
And I erased my pencil lines.
It's a nice blend.
And then I got creative with color
in the trees
to try to make something that would catch people's eye,
vehicles.
whether they're scrolling online or if they're looking at my album cover in a record store. I tried to use bright, bold colors, which are kind of signature of street style art. You could use crayon or marker. I hope you have fun, and I can't wait to see what you come up with. I started by drawing 2 lines to make my letters. Then I wrote my capital letters tall between the 2 lines. Then I turned these letters into block letters, and I chose to add some street style with some bumps and some funk. I'll include some street style alphabets in the lesson plan slideshow if you'd like to see those for some inspiration. It's up to you whether you do street style on your album cover or not. This is just to give you some different ideas. I went over my pencil lines with Sharpie. You could also use black marker or black crayon. Then I erased my pencil lines. The title of my album is Resilience, which means growing through challenges. I then drew some lines and colors so that people might notice my album as they're scrolling or looking through records or CDs. Then I colored my letters with bright colors. Try to think about making your colors bold so people will really notice them. I hope that you have fun, and I can't wait to see what you come up with.